Kenya currently holds the chairmanship of the East African Community, but it's being accused of splitting the region by dining with, for instance, the Sudanese paramilitary rapid support forces and hosting them on Kenyan soil to found a charter for a breakaway government. I sat down with Kenyan Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs and discussed that and more issues. Your Excellency, Kenyan Prime Cabinet Secretary and Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs, Mr. Musalia Mudavadi, thank you so much for making time for us on One-on-One TRT World today.
Thank you. I'm most delighted to be your guest.
Great. All right. So, for so many years, Kenya has played a peacemaking role. Kenya has played a mediator role on several conflicts involving the African continent. Does Kenya still hold that peacemaking role?
Yes, we are not about to abandon it. Kenya has always been pivotal in bringing harmony and providing an opportunity for various countries that are in conflict to be able to have a venue for dialogue, for peaceful resolution of their challenges. And President Ruto has been quite aggressive in making sure that this position is accepted. We also remain key in the sense that the United Nations headquarters for the Global South is in Nairobi. So we want symbolically Nairobi to continue playing this role. And very many initiatives have been at it. We continue to play a key facilitative role for South Sudan. We are ready to support Sudan. We are ready to support DRC. We've been at the center of conversations for Somalia and so many other areas that have had challenges. Nairobi remains a base for positive dialogue.
Right, and I'm glad that you brought that up because Sudan, let's talk Sudan. Just last month, Your Excellency, Nairobi hosted the paramilitary rapid support forces and gave them a platform to launch a founding charter to pave way for a breakaway government, which the African Union itself says it does not recognize that sort of parallel government. So based on that, is Kenya bringing peace or breaking peace in the region? And especially because President William Ruto is the ASC chair, he should be bringing them together.
In fact, that is the correction that I want to make right now so that it is understood very clearly. At no time has Kenya facilitated the formation of a parallel government. At no time has Kenya facilitated the formation of a government in exile for the people of Sudan. And at no time has Kenya said that they will be supporting a divided Sudan.
But Nairobi has hosted RSF and General Hemeti.
Let me be clear. We have hosted both sides at one time or the other. What happened in Nairobi, which they are calling the Taasisi conversation, was yes, some Sudanese population that is aligned to RSF. They met in Nairobi. They had a conversation, their own conversation. They came up with their charter. And I can tell you, if you go and look at the charter, there's nowhere a parallel government is formed. There's nowhere that we are supporting the dismembering of Sudan.
A founding charter that leads to the formation of a breakaway government.
No, it does not.
This was done on the Kenyan soil.
No. We have insisted that we are only helping to facilitate dialogue. How the Sudanese people form their government, it has to be them forming it in their own country through their mechanisms and their dialogue.
So how is Kenya helping to facilitate
Kenya
dialogue?
is helping to facilitate dialogue just the way other countries are providing avenues in Jeddah for dialogue. You cannot say that because there was a Jeddah process that then definitely that is dismembering Sudan. It's not. It's a process. Platforms will be provided for people to provide an opportunity for dialogue. We stand for one Sudan We want the people to dialogue, and we are encouraging a process because the military solution will not work. We are encouraging that let us also have a platform where the civilian component of Sudan, the civil society of Sudan, can also have space to sit on the table and talk to bring peace in their own country.
But Your Excellency, in response, Sudan banned Kenyan imports, right? Sudan's armed forces issued a statement and says, let me quote them, these clear positions affirm the Kenya's presidency irresponsible stance on embracing the RSF militia. I mean, where is the Kenyan government the Sudanese government in regards to this?
Please, let me tell you this. The issue of whether they take our tea or not is a trade issue, all right? Okay? And even as they were taking that position, Kenya continues to be supportive on the humanitarian aspects of Sudan. Nairobi is a key platform for the humanitarian efforts in Sudan. We are not going to stop that. We are not going to stop supplies of essentials going to Sudan. We will continue to support.
Does Kenya stand for a unified DRC, seeing the perceived allegiance of the president to Rwanda, as well as in 2023 again, Kenya or Nairobi was yet again accused of hosting the rebels at a time when Kenyan troops were leading the peacekeeping mission in the DRC?
I think when you look at the DRC issue, first of all, please remember the East African troops was an EAC process sanctioned even by the DRC government itself. So the ICRAF process was not a Kenyan force. It was an East African community force in DRC, all right? And the DRC is a member of the East African community. So let us put that in perspective.
Yes.
Okay? So it was not an invading force. Two, I want you to appreciate what was the Nairobi process and what was the Luanda process. The Luanda process is about dialogue between DRC, Kinshasa government, and Rwanda, Kigali, dialogue between two states. The Nairobi process is about intra-Congolese dialogue, helping to get the Congolese to talk amongst themselves, including M23 and other groups. That is the faction, the section that Uhuru was leading. So Kenya has not violated anything. Okay? It's a distortion that we need to correct. Right now, the new initiative that you see is that there's a joint EAC SADC process.
Right.
Which has merged the Nairobi process and the Luanda process, so that we have one initiative to help bring peace in DRC. And the resolutions passed by all heads of state, including the head of state of Rwanda and the head of state of DRC, is that we want an immediate ceasefire and we want all these people to be on the table to talk, including discussion with all groups that are inside Congo that are having challenges.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So Kenya is a peace builder. Kenya is a peace initiator. We are not
peace breakers, like
peace
some
breakers.
critics say.
So whoever has been trying to distort this is mischievous, because Kenya does not support any division in DRC or any other country.
All right, let's switch gears now and talk about Haiti, because we need to talk about the security situation there, bearing in mind that Kenya has so far lost 2 of its personnel in Haiti. You did confirm that, I think, last week. What is the general situation like? Because, again, you are quoted saying that you would need more help in terms of resources, in terms of personnel. You are calling on members of the international community to also come in, and also bearing in mind that this is a multinational security mission. So it's not just on Kenya alone. I mean, what are the plans to better the operation in Haiti?
You see, remember, let's go step by step. Remember the multinational support, security support mission in Haiti is anchored on a UN resolution. All right? It's anchored on a UN resolution. The understanding remains that commitments were anchored on that resolution. So various governments were to provide support.
Are you receiving the support?
So countries have made some contribution to the trust fund managed by the UN, but others made commitments which has been long in coming. Okay? So we hope that it can come. Now, why does Kenya champion this? Kenya champions this because we have the largest contingent of peacekeepers or peace enforcers. All right? So we are saying this mission is likely to come to an end in September. But the challenge of bringing peace continues to remain. So the international community should make good in providing the logistical support required so that we can appropriately or sufficiently help the people of Haiti to restore law and order in their country. But for now, the Kenyan effort has been able to contain and provide some measure of normalcy in some sections of Haiti, particularly the capital.
Though with some challenges.
Of course with some challenges. That's why I'm saying we have managed to maintain some measure, all right? That means challenges are there. And we regret that we lost two of our personnel. But the commitment to play our role internationally in helping bring peace remains, and the resolve is also high. But we need the international community to play their part,
right,
as committed within that. So there are some resolutions, some petitions pending before the UN, which we hope can be resolved so that there can be more support coming to the mission in Haiti.
And thank you very much, Your Excellency Musalia Mudavadi, Kenyan Prime Cabinet Secretary and the Cabinet Secretary for Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. Thank you so much for your time and contribution.
Thank you.